Alright, so in today's video, let's talk about the tragedy of hope. And this is a deep issue. This is an issue that can be understood only by going through the process and having an observational mindset. What it is I'm going to talk about and what is the audience that must listen to this. If you are a JEE aspirant, if you are a NEET aspirant, if you are a college student who entered your university or your college through these entrance examinations such as JEE and NEET, and if you prepared really well for these examinations, or I mean prepared well does not really mean your rank. I'm not asking your rank to be good. I'm asking if you have diligently prepared for these examinations and you know the whole process, you know how the coaching institute works and how this entire system works, and you have been a part of the process with integrity and diligence, then you must listen to this because what's coming ahead for you is a war, is a psychological war, and I'll tell you how. I have been a victim of this. Crores of students have been a victim of this. And there are a lot of students who are being a victim of this right now. Now, enough of this gaslighting. I will move on to what it is I want to talk about. There is a scarcity of hope within the system these days. I know all of this sounds really raw right now. Whatever I am going to speak will take some time to make sense to you. But bear with me, we're getting there. We're getting where we need to get. There is a real scarcity of hope within the young generation nowadays, especially the ones who have prepared really hard to be where they are right now. They might be in some of the top educational institutes of the world. They might be in the top research institutes of the world. They might be in some of the top private firms or government firms in this nation and working really hard for their job. They might be really aspirational and really passionate students who are studying right now for their entrance examinations or any other sort of examination. Or they might be general school students. We are seeing a real scarcity of hope among the good performers. Performance not in the sense of results, performance in the sense of efforts. The efforts they are putting in does not coincide with the level of hope they're keeping in their hearts regarding their own self, regarding their own future, and regarding their own life. Why is it so? I have a bunch of thoughts on that. See, there are a lot of reasons regarding why there is a huge lack of hope among students these days. But I observed one important factor. I was personally going through a phase where I was really hopeless about life in general and if I would turn out to be any good of a human being at all. If I would be able to survive the world as it is right now. And I realized that technically there is no reason for me to be hopeless about anything. I have made it through a difficult process of some of the toughest entrance examinations, which is the IIT JEE. And I do have, am better than a lot of people. Well, I do not brag about that, and I do not intend to, because everyone is good in their own thing, which might not always coincide with their academic profile. But still, there is a lack of hope, which is caused because of the tragedy of hope that has taken place in the past years and is taking place regularly, constantly, legally today in our generation. And let me summarize all of this into one sentence. Hopes are being sold. The entire entity of hope has become a market in the system, and hopes are being sold at a cost. And this cost is your ability to generate hope. You have been sold hope so rigorously, so mindfully, so financially, that your brain has forgotten how to generate hope, how to build hope in a situation where there is no hope. See, we have a job crisis, we have a seat crisis inside of India's top educational institutes. Aspirants are increasing at a huge level, but the seats are stagnant. People looking for a job are increasing at a huge level, but the amount of jobs is decreasing. The system is really in a messed up situation. We have to agree with that. But still, for someone like us, or for someone like a passionate and a hardworking student, to be hopeless about life overall is concerning. And what I found, what I realized, what I analyzed was really crazy. And I think like I should not keep this a secret. I should really share this with you. You see, I want to quote Umar Khalid on this. I don't know how much he resonates with all of this I'm sharing, but his quote really touched my heart, and I want to quote him out here. Hope is really a risky business. The more you hope these days, the higher you come crashing down. We are the generation who has been sold hope from from an age where we were not mature enough to see what is really going on. These coaching institutes, they have sold us hopes rigorously and at a huge cost. I'll explain this to you in a mathematical sense. I guess you guys are more into mathematics and you guys understand mathematics. So let me put it this way. We have an examination, IIT JEE, which selects around 90 which rejects around 99% of the people who come in. I'll not go into the statistics. I'll not figure out what is the exact percentage. I am pretty sure that it rejects around 98 to 99% of the aspirants that appear for the examinations. Now, we do know that there are a lot of chunk of people that are not appearing for these examinations for the sake of really appearing. They're just doing it for the sake of it. They're not interested. They're not well prepared. But still, when an examination has 99% rejection rate, the by default logic, by default notion inside of the society must be that these exams are rejection examinations. Let's not take them by heart. Let's send our students to prepare for them if they want to. They'll give the examination, then we'll see. Because if 99% people are getting rejected, there has to be some way out. They look for something else in their career, maybe something else in their life. That should be the obvious notion, right? This is the obvious outcome of whatever is going on here. 99% rejection is crazy. And this 99% rejection is not because the students are not worthy. No, it's because you guys have less number of seats, and it makes sense. These are prestigious institutions, heritage institutions. They're supposed to have less number of seats. Whatsoever reason you give, I am speaking mathematically. If there is a 99% rejection rate inside of an examination, the society should have an ultimate notion that these examinations are just for the sake of it. Go, appear. If you make it, well and good enough. If you do not make it, you are more normal than any other person on this earth. That should be the notion. But this does not seem to be the case. The case is something extremely disappointing. Everyone, every other, coaching institute, every other commodity, every other service is shouting, is claiming, and is banging your head with the very same statement that you can make. Did I really ask for it? I want to ask to you, did you ever ask these businesses, these coaching institutes, these teachers, these so called gurus, if you really want to clear it, if you really want to crack it? You never asked for it, but you were given. You're given this hope. You're given this statement that you can clear it. And once you're given this statement around 100 to 150 times, your brain starts asking you that are you the sort of person who is not going to attempt for it, who is not going to go for it when 150 people, 150 times you have been told that you can do it? Are you the sort of person who is going to miss an opportunity which is right in front of your eyes? Slowly and gradually, you fall into this notion of believing that you're capable enough for this. I'm not doubting you. You might be capable enough. I do not doubt your academic profile. I do not doubt your academic skills. I do not doubt your hardworking ability. What I doubt is the intentions of these businesses and the services. They're putting you into enormous hope. They're selling you hopes. You give them a hefty amount of fees and they keep you indulged in believing that you can make it till the very end, till the last 1 month of your examination. They keep making you believe that you can make it. Even in the last months, they're not taking rest. They're like bombarding crash courses on students. Purchase this crash course and you'll make it. Purchase this short course and you'll make it. Purchase this revision course and you'll make it. Even if you have not done anything in the past, you can do it. You can do the bare minimum. Even if you reach an 80 percentile, that is good enough. Something is better than nothing. Try to understand what is this rubbish, something is better than nothing. The person who is listening to this won't be doing nothing in that time period when he's doing nothing around JEE. There is a whole lot of world outside of JEE as well. A typical high schooler student can even focus on something else other than JEE. So what is the cost at which hopes are being sold? Now that cost is really scary. See, hopes are being sold is not really a problem. This has been a standard market practice since a lot of years. I mean, people can have complaints regarding it that see how ruthlessly these coaching institutes sell hope to their students. See how ruthlessly these coaching institutes sell hope to the parents of the student. They keep parents trapped in a notion into believing that their child is special and their child can do it. Even if 99% of the other children are not able to do it, their child is definitely in that 1% of the nation who is going to clear it. Fine enough. For me, I really had a problem with that until some time. But now, when I have realized what is the cost of selling hopes so rigorously, I feel like the problem might not be the selling hope portion. A little bit of awareness in the society can solve that. The problem is with the cost that comes with selling hopes. And the cost is what I'm going to tell you. I, you, and lakhs of students have lost this capability of generating hopes for ourselves. Do you ever have these phases in life when you feel like life is not going anywhere and you do not have a reason for doing anything at all? Well, these phases have existed in everyone's life, but The current trend is that people are having these phases constantly in today's generation, in today's uh, top class institutions, in today's coaching institutions, in today's rigorously working public, the community of students that works rigorously towards any of their goals. They are having constant phases of thinking that they're not going anywhere at all, and they doubt themselves. They do not feel hopeful about life. Where does this come from? A major portion of it comes from the sad fact that we as a community do not know how to build hope for ourselves. You see, hope has become such a financial commodity as of now that we can only speak about hope in monetary terms until and unless some guy from the internet makes it to your feed and tells you that you can make it, just purchase my course, or you can make it, just watch this playlist, or you can make it, just follow this roadmap or follow these steps. Till then, we cannot generate hope for ourselves anymore. See, to not be able to see what's there in the future is completely normal. No one, I feel like no one should try to tell us what our future is going to be because no one can. It's true. We do not even know if we'll be alive in the future we are talking about. But then, why are we being sold hopes for our future just for monetary purposes? And the result of is that we have lost the capability of generating hopes when there really is no hope. A lot of aspirants who are seeing this right now, JEE NEET aspirants, I don't think you will be able to get this right now. But I have been a part of that process, and now by the time I am about to end this entire process, I mean, end my university life, I'm realizing that I am short of hope, and a lot of my mates, a lot of people I know, and a lot of countless people out there have started to lose hope and they have lost faith within the system itself. See, slowly the cracks are gonna burst. You'll realize that everything that was told to you was wrong. Everything that was sold to you was wrong. And you're going to believe that it's all business. Well, business is not wrong, but when it plays with your ability of generating hope, it's dangerous. It's absolutely dangerous because you are never going to be able to contemplate within what is true. Was the life where you were sold hopes true? Were the hopes that were being sold really there? Is there really a lot of scope in the system? Or is it that the system has no scope? The system is hopeless. We cannot trust the system anymore. We cannot trust anything around us anymore. We have to work on ourselves and we have to survive all by ourselves. Which one out of these two scenarios is true? You're going to believe in the other one, the latter one, but you will be sold the former one. You will lose faith in whatever is being sold to you, and you will lose faith in your own self, so you will not be able to believe yourself when you realize that you are all alone and no one is going to take charge of you. It's a scary situation. Those who have been into this can understand. Those who have not been into this, guys, you're living the best time of your life right now. Trust me, you are. You might you might be working you might be working hard day and night. You might be having sleepless nights. You might be very passionate and very sincere about all that you're doing. You might not be taking any fun at all. You might not be following any hobbies at all. You might be living a hell technically. But trust me, what's coming ahead after this is scary for your life itself. Because when a person goes hopeless about his or her life, that's when they start harming their own self. And I'm not talking about physical harm. Physical harm is a stage that comes very later on. You start being pessimistic about the whole world. You'll start being pessimistic about the system. You'll start being pessimistic about your family. You'll start being pessimistic about your own self. Moreover, you'll start being pessimistic about your life. You'll want to end it. And this is not something that is new. Some of the people we know so far have ended their life in being in these top institutions. Take IIT Kharagpur, for example. They have recorded 4 suicides this year. Why do you think all of this would be happening? An IIT Kharagpur student, he's good enough. I mean, that tag is more than enough to believe that you are a good student, that you're going to make it good in future, no matter where you go. What made them end their life? I'm not making a point that this entire script that I shared actually was the reason behind their death. Not at all. There are a lot of factors to contribute, but this is a major factor. This cannot be underlooked upon. So my sincere request with all of JEE NEET aspirants, all the college students who I can call colleagues as of now because I'm just 19 years old, and all the seniors of mine who might be having a really dark phase of your life because of not being able to see any hopes about yourself, about your future, about your life, about if you're going to be able to make it, you're going to be able to survive. I have a short message. I have a sincere suggestion, and I plead you to take my advice. Please do not fall for their trap. You should go with your mathematical instinct. You know that there is a 99% rejection rate in this examination. Trust that. Trust your gut. If your gut says that you can't do it, you won't be able to do it, trust it. I know you might not be in a situation to opt out of the examination. You might not be in a state to completely abandon that examination and stop preparing for that. That's totally fine. I have been through that. I have been through those phases when I have felt like I won't appear for this examination at all, but still I had to because I was preparing since some ninth grade or something. So it might have not it would not make any sense for me. It would have not made any sense for me to stop it all of a sudden. I have been through this. So I want to tell you that it's fine if you're not able to opt out, but at least trust your gut. Have hopes in what you feel. Do not have hopes in what they have to sell you. They can sell you anything. They're really good at sales and they're really good at manipulation. They're not your well wishers. Do not make that mistake. They might be your well wishers as a human, but from the business point of view, they're not your well wishers. They will sell you their courses even if you have to sell your own land to buy their courses. When I was doing my coaching, it was a top rated coaching institute which was formed by some teachers who had left their fancy institutes and who had enormous experience in this field, and they built this institute from scratch. That's not the point. That's just a story. I'm telling you the context. I have been through these institutes, and I have seen aspirants, the parents of whose sold their lands off just so that they can send their child off to these institutes. And they did not mind it. They created an emotional sentiment out of it, that look at these students. They have sold their lands in order to be here. This is the level of dedication you need for JEE and NEET. Shut the hell up. I mean, that land would have helped him so much better in the latter part of life. But now they're in a situation where there is a 99% probability that they might not be able to make it. Trust your gut, trust what your heart says. Until and unless you are 100% sure about if you're going to make it or not, don't fall for their statements. And why do I ask you to trust yourself rather than trusting what your teachers, what your parents, and what the system has to say? Because today, if you trust on your hopes, today, if you start generating your hopes for your own self, your ability to be hopeful will remain alive. Otherwise, you'll get into an addiction of waiting for someone to sell you some hope. You won't be able to make any hope by yourself. You'll have to wait for someone to come and give you some hopes regarding life. And there's gonna be a time, there's gonna be a phase in your life when no one would be there. There is a huge market of coaching institutes for JEE. You come into college, there is a market for college placements, but it's not as huge as JEE. There is a market to help you out with your research profile, but it's not as huge as JEE. And I mean, as long as you go ahead in your life, the amount of YouTube channels covering the content you need will stagnate. The amount of coaching institutes or services in the market that offer you what you need will stagnate, and you will be left all alone. At that phase of your life, you need this ability. This is the ability you need the most. Not your mathematical skills, not your analytical skills, not your PCM skills, not your PCB skills, not your strength, physical strength or mental strength, or you do not need muscles in that phase of your life. All you need is that ability, is that innate ability of yours to generate and build hopes when there seems to be no hope. But that ability would be gone if you do not practice that ability from now itself when you are mature enough to see what's happening. So this is all for today, and I hope that I have done justice to all the content that I was willing to deliver. This was a raw recording. I did not have any sort of script. I did not even prepare for one single minute. So maybe if I have messed this video apart, I'll remake this and I will make sure that I cover the content properly. But thank you for staying so far, and thank you for trusting me throughout the video. And we'll we'll meet again if it is possible. Thanks a lot.